Hello viewers, this is Karunakar, and in this video we are going to learn about inheritance in C++ and access specifiers. First of all, let us see what is meant by inheritance. It is the process of creating new classes called derived class from existing class called base class. So if you have a existing class, that class is called base class. Okay, so if you are creating a new class from existing class, the new class is called derived class, and this complete process is called as inheritance. Okay, so we have three access specifiers in C++. First one is private, second one is protected, third one is public. Private members, they are accessible only within the class. Protected members, they are accessible within the class in the derived class but not outside the class. Public members, they are accessible everywhere. Okay, now let us see a program to learn these concepts. I am creating a class called base class. In this class we have three types of members: private member, protected member, and public member. Private member is called X, protected member is called Y, public member is called Z. I am initializing the three members X, Y, and Z. X is initialized with 1, Y is initialized with 2, Z is initialized with 3 in the constructor. Next, what I am doing is I am creating a new class called public derived from existing class called base class. Okay, and I am writing a show function. This is also public member, and trying to access the members of the base class. The members of the base class are X, Y, and Z. X, Y, and Z. I am accessing these members in the derived class. So I am displaying the value of X, Y, and Z. Let us uncomment this and compile this. Alt F9. We will get one error. Let us see what is the error. So this is the error. We are getting a error X is not accessible. The reason is X is a private member of the base class. So we know that private members are accessible within the class, but this is a derived class. So in derived class X is not accessible. Let us comment this and compile. Success. Now let us create an object of this class public derived. Okay, and access X, Y, and Z. Let us again compile. Alt F9. We get two errors. X is not accessible, Y is not accessible. So X and Y are not accessible here, because if you see here in public derivation, X is a private member, so it is not accessible. Y is a protected member, it becomes protected. So protected members are accessible only within the derived class, but main is not a derived class here. So see here, this is the main, this is outside the class. So outside the class, protected member not accessible. Okay, so this is about public derivation. Now let us try to create a new class called private inheritance, private derived. Okay, I'll comment this. So I am creating a new class called private derived. Okay, and trying to access the three members X, Y, and Z as we did in the previous class. So compile this one. Alt F9. We get three errors. X is not accessible. Again compile. We get three. X is not accessible. X is not accessible. Y is not accessible. So where we get X is not accessible. So the reason is same. X is the private member, but this is the derived class. So private members are accessible only within the class but not in derived class. So X is not accessible. I am commenting this and compile again. Alt F9. X is not accessible. Okay, this is the previous class output. Comment this one. Again compile. One error. Y is not accessible. See, Y is the protected member. Y is a protected member of the base class. And protected members, they are accessible. If you see the private inheritance, protected members are private. So they are accessible only within the class. So if you comment this one, comment this one. This is the previous Alt F9. We get no error. So X is private, not accessible. Y is private in the derived class, accessible. Z is private in the derived class, so accessible. So Y and Z are accessible within the class. Alt F9. Now let us try to create a object of this class. Alt F9, comment and compile. We get 3 errors. X is not accessible. So see here, derivation is private, private members not accessible. Again compile, Alt F9. So let us comment this one, Alt F9. Y is not accessible, Z is not accessible. So the reasons are, in private inheritance, Y is the protected member, it becomes private, so it is private to the class. So but here main is outside, so they are not accessible. Z is a public member, so they become private. So again private members within the class, so Z is not accessible. Main is outside, so Z is not accessible. So Y and Z are not accessible. If you compile, success. Now let us create one more class with protected derivation. Compile this one, successfully compiled. Okay, now if you uncomment this and compile, we get one error, X is not accessible. The reason is same. X is a private member, private members are accessible only within the class. This is the derived class, so in derived class private members are not accessible. So again comment this one, compile, no errors. So Y and Z are accessible because Y is protected, Z is protected. So protected members, they are accessible within the class and derived class. So this is a derived class, so Y and Z are accessible. You see here, protected members are protected, public members are protected. So protected members are accessible within the class and derived class. So this is a derived class, so Y and Z are accessible. Now let us create an object of this class. Uncomment and compile. We get 3 errors. X is not accessible, Y is not accessible, Z is not accessible. Let us see where are they. So here we get X is not accessible. X is not accessible because X is private, so private members are not accessible outside the class. Y is not accessible, Y is protected. Protected members are accessible in the derived class but not outside the class. Z is not accessible, Z is protected. So protected members, they are accessible within the class but not outside the class. So outside the class, in protected derivation, no members are accessible. So we get the 3 errors. Compile again. X is not accessible, Y is not accessible, Z is not accessible because they are protected members. Outside the class, only public members are accessible. Okay. So if you comment these 3 and compile, we get success. Now run this one. Okay, so we get the following up: Y and Z are accessible, Y and Z are accessible, Y and Z are accessible. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and share.